And in this book we find repeated models for how nature itself works. Nature works through reversal. It works through cycles. Something begins from nothing, becomes existent, and then disappears back into nothingness. And there's a sort of a mystical point here of unity with the Tao, unity with this universal process, that one should stay in the dark, stay low, not get out in front, keep in retreat, so to speak. But there's another message in Lao Tzu which is very important and enduring, and that's the idea of non-action, of wu wei, of not interfering, not trying to make things be some way, of not forcing the world to be as you want it, of, again, letting things be, of non-action. Always take the dark side, the quiet side, the soft side, the short side. Don't seek, don't strive. He says, a phrase right then from the Lao Tzu, be like a newborn babe. It doesn't build the world, it doesn't try to control the world, it doesn't aim to do good for or to other people. But what it does do, I think, with this whole notion of dropping out is saying there's a way to survive. If you don't compete, if you don't get involved, at least you can survive and you can be happy in your own life. We have a position with Zhuangzi of don't try to take a fixed standpoint. Don't try to define things perfectly. And he goes on and says at one point, throw things open to the light. Let things come and let things go. Develop your own skills, live your own life, let things be, don't try to force them. Life is a dream of a kind, death is not to be feared, it's all part of a natural process. He's the first great spokesman, perhaps, for dropping out in Chinese history. Famous story in Zhuangzi of Butcher Ding. And Butcher Ding used his knife to carve up oxen. And he never sharpened his knife through his whole life. And he's asked, why, Butcher Ding, don't you sharpen your knife? And he says, well, you know, in the ox there's always room between the muscles, and all I'm doing is moving through that space and the whole ox falls apart. I never have to go against the current, go against the grain. I go with the flow, I go with the grain, and everything is cut up. And the king looks at him and says, so I'm learning not just about butchery from you, I'm learning about life, I'm learning the Tao. But I remember telling my son, who was then very young, this story, and he looks at me and says, but he has no ambition. And that was right. He had no ambition. Butcher Ding wants to be good. He has an ambition of sort. He's going to be good at with his skill. He's going to live in unity with his skill, but he's not going to be striving after wealth and power.